Hi everyone, it's Rob Watson back again for more community media for TECH2503 Community Media Production. I just want to use this short video to give you a quick introduction and outline of what we'll be covering in the first session, the first lecture back, and some of the changes we're going to make to this kind of style of delivery, which is different from last year, the way that we kind of worked in a workshop last year, but this year I want to do things slightly differently. One of the main changes is we're going to have a separate lecture and a separate workshop. So we'll meet for an hour once a week for me to deliver about 50 minutes of a kind of PowerPoint presentation and some reading material and look at some clips. And what I want to try and do is have lots of discussion as part of the session. The books that we're looking at in the lectures, there's 4 that I've selected which I think are going to be really useful. The first one and the main one is the Kevin Howley book, Understanding Community Media. And for the first session, if you can get hold of a copy of this in time, for the first session, can you look at the introduction? He basically asks, why should we study community media? So I thought it would be a useful starting point for us to look at in terms of the key issues that we're going to cover in the module. What I want to do with the module this year for your second year is not particularly look at the media. I know that sounds kind of a bit odd in a way. We are going to look at the media, but we're going to look at it in a different way. And what I want to do is I want to look at it through the idea that community media engages with community life, and in many ways it does things which mainstream media can't do. So I've found a couple of books which I think are going to be, they don't seem massively complicated, which is good, I can understand them, they're about social problems in the UK. So I've put these up on the reading list, which is in the module handbook, and which you can download a copy from either Blackboard or from the wiki, which remember is wiki.our.dmu.ac.uk. so wiki.our.dmu.ac.uk, and I've set up a page for Tech 2503, so you should be able to find it relatively simple or search for it. The third book, or the fourth book that we want to look at is a book about sustainability. So the other two are kind of like, how do we deal with social problems? And the last book is kind of, well, how do we move forward from that and think about managing social problems through issues of sustainability? And what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask the question, what role can community media play in improving our community lives, making our lives more sustainable, more agreeable, more personable, less fractious, less difficult? Where does community media sit with this, and how and what kind of examples can we look at that tell us about it? Now each week, because it's a lecture, I'll be giving you notes based on the lecture, that the lecture is based around. And these are quite detailed notes. There's quite a lot of text to read. I've summarised arguments, and I've taken quotes and I've put them in, so you won't need to be able to have to kind of write anything down word for word from what we show on the screen. I'm going to try and keep what's on the screen quite visual. I've done the PowerPoint presentations, but I'm not going to share this with you, and I'm not going to record this because I like to use a lot of media material, and there's a lot of copyright issues in terms of using the media material. But I will give you a PDF. You can convert it to a Word document if you need to adapt it and change it, but it's a PDF that you can download via the wiki, and it gives you an outline of the key issues that were covered in the lecture and some background reading to go with it. So what I want to kind of to happen each week is come to the lecture, bring a notebook and a pen. It's absolutely essential that you bring a notebook and a pen. I hope you got into the good habit of doing this last year. And it's kind of keywords, doodles, mind maps, those kinds of things. There's a lot we can do to improve our note taking. It's a really good skill to have. But kind of listening skills, they're going to be key, really important. I think if you're going to be working in community media, your ability to listen to people and to absorb and figure out what's being said by lots of different types of people is going to be really important. One of the other differences that we're making to the module this year is it's not just going to be me delivering it. Hooray! You're going to have John Costa. You met John last year, but John's coming in to deliver the workshop sessions, and you're going to be able to draw on John's experience, wealth of experience of running community media sessions and groups. So John's the guy who defined the community, the idea of and the practice of the community media cafe in the UK, in this country. So there's a wealth of experience and practice and know-how and knowledge and links and contacts. So really kind of, let's treasure what John can offer, and let's use the kind of skills and the experience to kind of really think about the task that you're going to be doing, which is to set up your own community media cafe style event. But we'll give you more information about that in the lecture and in the first workshop session. So we need to be thinking about getting the books and getting some reading done for the year. And we also need to be thinking about making lots of notes. I'm going to be sharing videos. I'll try and do this every week just to introduce the lecture, the details of what the lecture's about, so you've got a little summary. The notes will go up on the wiki. Hopefully we'll be collaborating and adding to the information that's on the wiki as a community ourselves. So have a great week this week. Looking forward to seeing you in week 1 for the start of the new term.